Welcome to File 2 of the Jack Files. Today, I'm going to talk about Wargames. I watched that just recently, and I thought I could talk about it because, I'm into movies, and this movie really piqued my interest. I went into it with high expectations, and let me say, it exceeded all of them. Like, oh my goodness, phenomenal. Editing, shooting, acting, all of it, like, sound, everything was so good. I also do like movies that were made back during that time. I think it was 1980, 90 something. I don't really know the exact date. I don't know a lot about it, but I was told it was very good. And let me tell you, it is very, very good. Now, I went to it thinking, oh, it's just another one of those movies that's going to be like a bad 2000s film, all editing and all sorts of stuff. It was phenomenal. So there were several scenes in it that I'll go in depth about. If you don't know what Wargames is, let me go explain a little bit. So basically the storyline is about, we have two main characters. I don't actually remember their names. I didn't actually know their names to start with. I wasn't paying attention well enough. So that's my bad. But so a boy and a girl are the two main characters. The boy, he is into computers and hacking and stuff like that, right? So he learns about this series of games called the Wargames, and he is looking at each game, and is learning that it's AI basically that he will be playing the game against. The AI is built to learn from its mistakes. So when he wanted to play a game, he clicked on a game called Bionuclear Warfare, which, I'm not gonna lie to you, if I saw that game on a game list, I'm not gonna go play that one. I would rather play Tic-Tac-Toe or Hungry Hungry Hippo. I'm not playing Bionuclear Warfare. That's insane. I don't understand what he was thinking. But yeah, so he clicks that game, and he gets to choose a side, and he chooses USSR, which is Russia and the Soviet Union. Back in that time is what it was called. I think it's just Russia now. But anyway, he picked to go against America. So he got first play against AI, and he sent nuclear weapons to Seattle and to Las Vegas. And so yeah, it was wild. The movie went all over the place. He got there was like in Colorado, like a Area 51 look type base with military people and stuff, and they got contact of the nuclear missiles that were being sent, which weren't actually real. You'll find out. It was just like a game, like a simulation thing. And yeah, so they panic. They prepare to send missiles to Russia in certain areas, and it just keeps escalating, like absolutely escalating, like going downhill. It's bad. Russia sends some submarines, like 20 of them, like fleets of them, which they pick up on their radars. They get like 2 fighter jets, all sorts of stuff everywhere. Everything's going downhill. Like, it's actually escalating like crazy. And they are all seeing this on these huge, like a big monitor, like huge monitors. And they're just seeing little, like, 8 bits, like they're just little LED lights that they're seeing that are like lighting up little dots. And the general of that base is like contacting the president. He's like, we're under nuclear warfare. We have to fight back. When you give the call, we'll launch the missiles to Russia. It's wild, and all the time it's just a kid. And then when he turns the game off because he gets called to take out the trash, so he turns his game off. Of course, the game, which is run by AI, is still going, so it has like a countdown before it like launches like a bio nuclear bomb or something like that. I don't even know. And yeah, it keeps counting down. He just leaves it thinking, oh, it's turned off, the game's over, we can play again another time. And then he gets home from school one day. This is like a day later. He gets back from school and he looks, he gets a report card passing all his classes, and he gives it to his dad because he's like, Dad, look, I got all A's, which he didn't actually. He was hacking his like grades and stuff and like changing them. And he gives his report card to his dad. His dad's impressed, and then he sees the news, which we're talking about the events that took place the day before, about the nuclear bombs being sent, or the threat being sent. And he panics. He's like, oh my goodness, that was all me, possibly, because those were the exact places I had put them to. So he calls his girlfriend, I believe his girlfriend, which is the other main character, the girl, calls her, and she was like, are you watching or she calls him, and she's like, are you seeing the news right now? He's like, yeah, I just saw it, and she was like, was that us? And he's like, I don't know, I think so. And she's kind of happy about it. I don't know why. Like, the whole time she's kind of smiling and like giggling, like, oh my gosh, our nuclear bombs just got launched. There was an alert. It was like flippant, the DEFCON 1 full fallout. She's like, oh my gosh, oh my bro. I was like, why are you happy about that? I would have had more of the reaction of the other kid. He was like panicking. He was like full out like, oh my gosh, I just messed up. I don't blame him. I would have felt the exact same way. Which they were both like, well, just be calm. Don't tell anybody about it. Well, when he's out shopping at the store, he got like food or something. I think he got like a milkshake. Several people start following him while he's walking out the parking lot. And then a van picks him up, and he gets basically kidnapped and took into that Area 51 type base, where he gets held captive, and they ask him a bunch of questions. They think he's working for somebody, and he messed up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. He messed up. That was all him. But yeah, that was it. It was for that. It's not over. And then yeah, he keeps getting asked questions, and then he gets locked into the room that he was kept in originally, because they caught him hacking again. He was just trying to continue. He figured out that the game is still going. He had like X amount of hours and minutes before the real bombs actually get sent to America. So he's panicking. He's like, oh my gosh, it's still going. I gotta figure out how to win the game and end it all. And yeah, and then he got caught, and they sent him to a medical room, locked him in there, put a guard in front of it. But he's thinking smart. He's like 10 steps ahead of us. Bro is like Jimmy Neutron. He like got scissors and like intertwined some loops or wires and like opened the door. That was a cool scene. I'm not even gonna lie. He like hacked the door with like a pair of scissors and pliers. He's smart. I'm not even gonna lie. He's really smart. I would have like sat in there terrified. I would have been like shaking the whole time. I would be like, please, no, not yet. Anyway, but yeah, and then he escapes. The guard is like flirting with like the lady, the like front desk lady in that area. He was being really weird. And so the kid escapes. He climbs into like an air vent area while the FBI is going up an elevator, getting ready to threaten him with stuff. I don't even know. But he escapes in time, gets into a vent, and goes back to like this main where all those screens are and like where they can see where the bombs and nuclear missiles are and stuff. So he's in a little vent, and there's a group touring this area. I don't know why they were doing tours if it's meant to be like a secret military base. But they were doing tours and stuff. So he's like, oh, if I got in that group and said I was a tourist as well, maybe they won't realize, and then I can escape. So that's what he does. He hops in the group. He almost got caught like twice, and they have really bad staff there. The whole place knew about him, yet nobody saw him. And when they did, they were like, hey, you can't be venturing out of the group. Stay close to them. I don't even know. So he gets on a bus that they took. They leave, and yeah. He gets back to a certain town. He hitchhikes with some people, with a trucker, and then he hacks the phone booth, which was really interesting. How he knew how to do that. He is really good with electronics, but he hacked that and calls somebody. He calls like the what's it called? The operator. He gets operator on the line, calls the guy. His son is named Joshua. The father, I don't remember the guy's name. It was like German or something. It was some German first and last name. I don't remember though. But he was the one that was like the creator of the AI and the games for it and stuff. So he called him, was like trying to tell him that he started the games and he's like caused a nuclear warfare, Cold War type game, to warn him, like, turn this off, figure it out, please. And then he gets a plane ticket from his girlfriend. His girlfriend buys him he calls his girlfriend next. He tells her, buy him a ticket. So she buys him a ticket, and he flies to, I don't even know, like Rhode Island or something. And she meets him there as well. So they're on the island. They're getting ready to get on a boat, which will take them to like Rhode Island or something. I don't remember. Not Rhode, like a literal island. And then they get to the island and talk to the guy that created the games. He was like, I can't fix it. I'm not willing to. Everybody's just gonna die, basically. And he didn't care one bit about everyone dying. And then the girl was like, I'm 17. Don't you care? Blah, 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 blah. That didn't change his answer. He was like, okay, I don't care. I don't know you. You're in my house. It was a weird moment. But anyway, so that was that, and they missed the ferry, so they're stuck on his island, which is goofy, because it was like, there was a remaining 9 hours, so they were just going to spend the last bit of their life on that island. And then there's a helicopter, and the kid, originally the boy, thought that it was like the military again trying to get him. And so they ran around for like a few minutes before they realized that it's the owner of the island who has a helicopter. I don't actually understand how he got it. But yeah, he was in a helicopter and he was like, get in, we're gonna go to the military base, shut off the AI machine. I went blank again. And yeah. So they get to the military base and they're like trying to figure it out. They try to shut it off. They figure out that the missiles did launch. and they were gonna fight. So it hit, but it was like all part of the simulation. So it wasn't actually real bombs. They got on the phone with like one other person at another military base that the bombs were gonna hit first. They called and they were like, yeah, we're fine. There's no bombs here. Nothing. They were all fine. It was all a simulation. It was all fake. And so, yeah, they were all fake. And then they figure out that they can't get back into, because they were about to launch a bomb back at Russia. If like a bomb actually did hit, they were going to set fire back. So they put like they locked themselves out of it so they couldn't like go back. They would fire no matter what. And then the AI started figuring out, they were like, since they were like, oh, it's just a simulation, blah, 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 blah. They were like, wait a minute, we can't get back in. The missile's still prepping for launch. And even though they clicked the unlock out button where it like gets them back in, it was confusing. But they couldn't do it. And they were like, what's going on? So it turns out the AI, Joshua is the AI's name. It's Joshua. Was like tapped into the system trying to launch the missile back because it was still in the simulation, like, oh, he fired at us, so I'm gonna fire back at him. Then the kid, the main character, he's like having this big poof moment where he's like, oh, I know what to do. What's one game that you can never, like, where it's like you'll learn to give up from? Tic-tac-toe. So he puts like tic-tac-toe into the software system. And remember, this is like the 80s, so they had those big square computers. They didn't have the MacBook Airs like we have today. So it was very confusing. He put tic-tac-toe into the algorithm, and like he put 0 players, which made it play itself, and it kept losing and losing. And then it switched to the bionuclear warfare game, and it kept losing against itself, and then it learned to just give up, which was like the point of it. That AI, I don't even understand the point of it. There was a point in it. I didn't really catch that. I was too focused on the fact that the kid was honestly should be locked up 10 years to life, no parole for wanting to play the game bionuclear warfare. Like, somebody tell his parents that he needs to be away from the computer. No kid just gets home from school and is like, I want to play bionuclear warfare. Like, I can understand Risk or like Battleship. Those aren't like my go-to games, like if I'm bored. But like, those are still fun games. I'm not like thinking, I want to play some bionuclear warfare right now. Like that. What? Anyway, he figures out, so the AI stops, and yeah, that was pretty much the movie ends, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't really have much else to talk about now, but make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, put that little dingy bell thing, I don't even know what it's called, the notification thing, turn those on so you can get caught up on all my new videos. That's pretty much it. Bye.